Have you ever wondered what happens when the last candle flickers out? A thought that sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? Now imagine a town, a quaint little place nestled far from the hustle and bustle of the city. A place where the wind whispers stories and the moonlight paints eerie shadows on the silent streets. But this town holds a secret, a chilling legend that is whispered from one generation to the next. They say that when the last candle in the town goes out, a ghost appears. A spectre from the abyss, a chilling presence that haunts the darkness. It's easy to dismiss this as a mere folk tale, a story to frighten children on a cold winter's night. But the townsfolk, they know better. They've seen the flickering shadows, heard the whispers in the wind. What if I told you the legend is not just a tale, but a horrifying reality? Nestled between the mountains lies a town, forgotten by time. A place where cobbled streets wind through rows of antiquated houses, their time-worn structures whispering stories of yesteryears. The town's buildings, although aged, stand resolute against the test of time, their weathered bricks bearing witness to countless sunrises and sunsets. The people here, they're a hearty bunch. Generations have come and gone, each leaving their indelible mark on the town's history. But there's a peculiar trait that unites them all. A shared fear that blankets the town as soon as the sun dips below the horizon, a fear of the dark. You see, the townsfolk harbour an unsettling belief. They say that when darkness descends, strange things happen. Shadows move of their own accord. Eerie whispers float on the wind, and the chill that permeates the night seems to seep into one's very bones. To keep the darkness at bay, they've taken to an old-world tradition. Every night, as the sun begins its descent, the townspeople light candles. Every window in every home flickers with a warm, inviting glow, casting long shadows that dance on the cobbled streets. The children, too young to understand the gravity of this ritual, turn it into a game, racing each other to see who can light their candle first. The adults, on the other hand, perform this task with a somber seriousness, their faces etched with a grim determination. The town's elders often recount tales of what happens when the darkness is left unchecked, their stories serving as chilling reminders of why the candles must always remain lit. They speak of figures that lurk in the shadows, of strange happenings that defy explanation, and of a darkness that seems almost sentient. And so the town lives under the constant vigilance of its inhabitants. Every night, a symphony of flickering flames keeps the darkness at bay. Every night, the townsfolk fight their silent battle against the unseen. Every night, they ensure the survival of their town, their homes, their loved ones. But one fateful night, the last candle did go out. It was a night darker than any other, and the silence was deafening. Imagine, if you will, a night so pitch black that even the stars seemed to have hidden themselves away. The moon was nowhere in sight, and the feeble glow of candles was the only light that dared to challenge the darkness. Suddenly, the last candle flickered and went out, plunging the town into an abyss of shadows. It was then, in the darkest hour, that it came, the spectre that had been whispered about in hushed tones. The ghost, as the townsfolk would later recount, was a terrifying sight to behold. It was not a frail or wispy apparition, but a robust and menacing figure that towered over the tallest man in town. Its eyes glowed a ghastly green, and it wore an expression of such malevolence that it sent chills down the spine of even the bravest among them. The phantom did not just stand there, oh no. It moved with a purpose. It drifted through the town, appearing and disappearing at will, spreading panic and fear in its wake. The townsfolk could do nothing but cower in their homes, their hearts pounding in their chests as they waited for the apparition to pass. The air was thick with tension and terror, and it seemed as if the whole town was holding its breath. And then the unthinkable happened. The ghost began to interact with the town, causing objects to move on their own, doors to swing open and closed, and even the wind to change direction. Such was the power of this spectral entity that it could manipulate the very elements to its will. The night wore on, and the phantom continued its reign of terror, leaving a trail of chaos and fear in its path. The once peaceful town was now a place of dread and despair, and the people could only pray for the dawn to break. By the break of dawn, the town was forever changed. As the first rays of sunlight pierced the darkness, a chilling sight awaited the townspeople. The dawn had broken, but the day brought no comfort. The streets, once bustling with life, were eerily quiet, the silence interrupted only by the gentle rustle of leaves in the wind. The town was a mere shadow of its vibrant self, shrouded in a chilling pall of fear and uncertainty. The night of terror had left its mark on the town and its people. The once cheerful faces were now etched with lines of worry, eyes wide with fear, their laughter replaced by hushed whispers. The children no longer played in the streets. The elders no longer gathered in the town square. The town was in the grip of an unspoken dread, a fear that hung in the air, as tangible as the chill of the ghostly presence that had brought them this horror. Every home was locked tight as the sun set each day. The once welcoming hearths burned brightly, not for warmth, but as a beacon against the encroaching darkness. The townspeople took measures, some logical, others steeped in superstition, to ward off the ghost. Salt was sprinkled on doorsteps, talismans were hung on front doors, and prayers were whispered into the night. Their words carried on the wind, a desperate plea for protection. The town had changed, its people had changed. They lived in the shadow of the night, their lives dictated by fear. The ghost had not just haunted their homes, it had haunted their minds, their souls. They were prisoners in their own town, trapped by the terror that stalked their nights. Yet, amidst this fear, a spark of defiance flickered. The townspeople resolved to fight, to reclaim their town from the ghost that had claimed it. They began to gather, to plan, their determination fueling their courage. But could they really escape the wrath of the ghost? Or was it just the beginning? Years have passed since that terrifying night, but the memories are still fresh. Like a phantom, the story lingers in the heart of the town, a chilling tale etched into the minds of the townsfolk. The echoes of that night seem to whisper through the wind, a grim reminder of the terror that once gripped them. The isolated town, once a serene haven of peace, now an eerie monument to the night of dread. The story is a chilling one, full of moments that still send shivers down the spines of those who dare to remember. The quiet before the storm, the sudden plunge into darkness, the haunting cries that pierce the silence of the night. Each detail is a chilling reminder of the terror that once reigned, a grim testament to the power of fear. The fear, though not as palpable as it was that fateful night, still lingers. It's there in the way the townsfolk glance nervously at the setting sun, the way they rush to light every candle, every lantern as dusk approaches. It's there in the way they huddle together, their eyes wide as they recount the tale, each word a chilling echo of the past. The precautions they take are not mere superstitious rituals, but desperate attempts to keep the darkness at bay. Each flickering candle, each glowing lantern, a beacon of hope in the terrifying darkness. The fear of the unknown, of the darkness that once consumed them, drives them to keep the lights burning, to keep the shadows at bay. Yet, despite the fear, the townsfolk continue to live, to breathe, to hope. The story has become a part of them, a chilling reminder of the past, a haunting testament to their resilience. They live each day knowing that the darkness could return, that the terror could once again grip them. Yet they live, they survive, they persist. The tale of the isolated town of the night of terror, of the aftermath, is more than just a chilling story. It's a testament to the power of fear, the resilience of the human spirit, the indomitable will to survive. It's a story that lingers, that haunts, that reminds us of the darkness that lurks in the shadows. The story, though terrifying, is a stark reminder of the power of fear, the strength of the human spirit, the resilience in the face of the unknown. It's a story that whispers in the wind, that echoes through the town, that lingers in the hearts of the townsfolk. So I ask you again, what happens when the last candle flickers out? Well, the people of this town know the answer all too well.